You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
What's up, Black and White Sports fans? John Matrix here, and I am back with another video, guys. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Also, check out the merch, 15% off anything in a merch store if you use the discount code Gina Rotz. Guys, there is a reason why me and Rhodes call the NBA the Marxist NBA of China. Guys, we know that China is a communist nation, man. And we have repeatedly told you guys that they oppress their own people, man. The concentration camps out there that the Uyghur Muslims are in is producing products out there that are used by companies that the Marxist NBA of China's players make money off of. So, essentially, folks, the Marxist NBA of China's players have been profiting off of slave labor. And guys, they are now being put on blast, folks. They are. But first, guys, make sure you guys go over to blackandwhitenetwork.com, sign up and become a member today. We have 2 membership plans, bronze and silver plan. You get private videos, me and Rhodes both together, talking about mainly a lot of topics, that Big Tech doesn't want us to actually talk about. And this stops us, from being demonetized and things like that. And if you can't sign up today, you can give a one-time donation by clicking the donation tab. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead. Let's continue on and get into this video about the Marxist NBA of China. This is serious, folks, because we know how last year the NBA players were just telling you guys how bad this country is, how racist this country is. And, they kept going back to slavery days and systemic racism and all this other stuff. But yet they have no problem whatsoever taking blood money from China. But guys, individual players now are now going to be exposed because the ball is about to drop, folks. And if these NBA players, man, don't actually come out and say something about this, we are going to be on these NBA players like flies on shit. Let it be known, folks. So let's go over here to Outkick here. It says star NBA players cash checks from Chinese sneaker companies proudly using slave labor. NBA players, coaches, and league officials have embraced social justice warriordom for the past several years, regularly denouncing American politicians and institutions for their perceived lack of left-wing wokeness. Absolutely. But for one glaring hypocrisy has remained. The NBA has been unwilling to utter a word of criticism about Chinese genocide, slavery, concentration camps, destruction of democracy in Hong Kong, and the lack of basic human rights in their country. Instead, they've been happy to cash checks from China worth billions of dollars, all while saying nothing about all of China's global transgressions. Can't talk today. But that silence is about to get even harder because recently, several American companies have attempted to distance themselves from Chinese genocide, including, to their credit, Nike, which has pledged that their products won't be made with cotton produced by Muslim slave laborers in the Chinese concentration camps in the Xinjiang region of the country. But that decision has provoked fury inside of China, and 2 Chinese sneaker companies, Li Ning and Anta, seeking to profit off the negative customer reaction to Nike, have pledged that they will continue to proudly use cotton produced from Muslim slave labor. Now, I didn't know about Nike actually distancing themselves from the CCP. I did not know that. Hats off to them if they're not going to use products that are coming from these slave camps that the CCP is actually imposing on their own people. Man, it goes on here. It says, let me repeat this. In response to Nike's statement that they won't make their products with cotton produced from Muslim slave labor, 2 Chinese sneaker companies have proudly asserted that they will continue to use that cotton produced by Muslim slave labor. This is astounding. What's even more astounding, the NBA has a bevy of players with shoe deals with either Li Ning or Anta. Yes, you heard that right. NBA players, the same players who have been denouncing and ridiculing American democratic institutions for their perceived lack of wokeness, are pocketing money from Chinese companies profiting directly off cotton produced by Muslim slave laborers. Think about this for a minute. In 2021, we've got star American athletes still profiting off of plantation slave labor. Now, let's expose some of these players here. Who are these players? Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors has a reported $80 million deal with Anta. So does Warriors teammate James Wiseman. Has Golden State's Warrior head coach Steve Kerr, a consistent left-wing zealot, commented on at least two of his players pocketing money from companies profiting off of Muslim slave labor cotton picking? If so, I must have missed it. Maybe it is also a difficult question for Kerr. This, for the unaware, was Steve Kerr's cowardly comment when he was asked if he supported basic human rights in China. I remember that, man. I remember that. It was absolutely pathetic. But, you know, if this was the Orange Man doing this, he would have no problem. Him and Greg Popovich, man, the two wokest coaches in the NBA, would never let up on Donald Trump. When it comes to Chairman Z and the CCP, zip. They say nothing. Nothing. The NBA, the Marxist NBA China, man, this is why we actually call you the Marxist NBA China. The Los Angeles Lakers' Alex Caruso also has a deal with Anta. Does LeBron James, social justice warrior extraordinaire, think it's appropriate for his teammate to be profiting off of Chinese slave labor? We don't know. James is so excited to have Space Jam 2 open in China that he won't say a word of negative criticism about his good buddy, Chairman Z. Bingo. Absolutely. Because LaChina James, man, wants as much money as he can get from the Chinese Communist Party when Space Jam 2 opens up in China. A movie that I will not be watching. I care nothing about this. I do not support LaChina James. Dwayne Wade has both a shoe deal and clothing line with Li Ning, and that deal has been so successful, Wade is recruiting additional players for his slave labor clothing brand. Really? He's really riding high. Slave labor cotton, y'all. That is so funny. Thanks to Wade's profits from slavery, he's added CJ McCollum and D'Angelo Russell to it. I'm sorry, guys. This is so funny. He's added CJ McCollum and D'Angelo Russell to his cotton plantation family. Oh my God, that is hilarious. Both men recently penned their own endorsement deals with slave laborers and are proudly wearing Li Ning gear in NBA games. I wonder if these same players actually knelt for the national anthem in the bubble. Have they been kneeling this year? I don't know. Not to be outdone, Jimmy Butler of the Heat and Fred VanVleet also recently added cotton plantation slave labor profiteer to their endorsement profiles, signing their own new deals with Li Ning. Who knew that slave labor was so profitable? What a deal. Guys, I am so sick of these hypocrites, man, from the Marxist NBA of China. Hypocrites. They sign deals with companies that absolutely, they're not even going to apologize for using the slave labor from the camps. They said they're going to continue to do it. What will these NBA players do? What will they do? Probably nothing. Probably absolutely nothing, man. Because you know what? As long as it's not America doing this, you know, they're perfectly okay, you know, with China. The NBA, man, back in bed with China, man. China kicked them out. Then the NBA started embracing Marxism, kneeling for the national anthem. They made their Chinese overlords so happy, so proud that in the NBA finals, which nobody watched, record low ratings, China came back. But China dictates the terms. And these NBA players, man, getting profits off of concentration camps, imprison people just because of their religion. Just because of their religious beliefs, those people are in concentration camps. But the NBA, Hollywood, have no problem whatsoever taking that money. Taking that money, man. No problem. But if Georgia wants to pass a voting rights law, then they have a problem with that. They have a major problem with that, but they have no problem whatsoever with China. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans. These players now have been put on blast. Nike seems like they're doing the right thing so far, but we'll see how that actually plays out. I'm still not going to be rocking Nike gear at all. LeBron James, he needs to actually really, really come out and speak out against China. He is the face of the NBA, but we know that he won't because LeBron James is a coward. Because if he says something, the NBA will be pulled out of China. Because the only fan base now is in China. The American people have said no to the NBA. That's why their ratings have been down over 50% ever since they embraced Marxism last year and criticized Daryl Morey. Make sure you guys go over to blackandwhitenetwork.com, sign up and become a channel member today. Thanks for everybody that has showed support and signed up on the website. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.